meet. My name is Amanda Lilliana, and I am a Dharmic psychic from the Owl's Vision Tarot. And we're here today with Tana, and we are going to be doing a vision board reading. So, one of my main purposes is to help people reconnect with their main character energy, and that means really taking care of themselves, living the life that they want. And one of the processes doing that is making a vision board. Vision boards are a great manifesting tool because you can see what it is that you want and you have a focus and you kind of bring it in to reality. So we're here today. We're going to be doing a vision board reading with Tana. I'm so happy to have you here, Tana. And we're going to
Hi.
just go ahead and get into what your vision board may look like. And I'm going to design it for you.
Yay, I'm so excited. I'm obsessed with all the vision boards you post. So I'm super excited.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Before I do, I like to always kind of clear the energy and kind of breathe in and call in our spirit guides and just take a moment to kind of focus. So I have a selenite wand here, and I would just like to kind of use this to kind of send out some real positive energy for us. Take a deep breath in and out. Breath in and out. Breath in and I ask our spirit team to help us guide us to making the vision board that will help Tana in the most positive way in her year ahead. And so it is. All right, Tana. So the first thing I like to do when we're doing a vision board reading is I would like to kind of ask a few questions from you, and this will help me create a board for you and to send it off to you when it's ready. So, what are you manifesting, Tana? What area of life are you looking towards? What are you trying to build?
I'm really trying to embody and manifest sort of like a top tier level of success and wealth for myself because I want to channel that energy into my business and sort of be a leader who um, is spirit led and divinely driven in her career and who uses service and is not afraid of soulful selling. And I have felt for some time that spirit is calling me into this very like luxury, bougie, like kind of baddie energy because it really spikes the trigger for the people I work with, which is like psychic readers and entrepreneurs, right? It really kind of spikes that trigger. And because it like spikes so high, the fact that I'm like really in my baddie, like bougie energy, it can start to tether to the discomfort and the belief and the mindset that a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs have that they're healing about money and energy exchange. Unfortunately, we're really really good at giving, but we're not very good at energy exchange. And I know innately, and spirit has given me and asked me to take on this crusade, right? That the energy exchange for spiritual entrepreneurs needs to heal and become more balanced. And so, because everybody else is on the low end of the spectrum in this level of balance, they don't have quite as much balance as they need. I'm sort of pulling from above. So it may look at times like I'm imbalanced and it's, bougie money over service. But when you get to know me and you know my processes and my whys and what we do, you'll actually see that it is very grounded. It's just at a very high energy exchange level. It's balanced, but the energy exchange is is just at a bigger capacity both in and out. And so when people see that, um, I want to almost trigger them into permission to balance their own energy exchange when it comes to doing spirit led service work, right? And so, what I'm manifesting, I think, is the voice and the comfort and the confidence to be able to do that role that spirit has very clearly shown me without too much focus on what people think when they don't fully understand me, what they may say when they don't look further than, one piece of content that is touching on something like this. So I'm just manifesting like this very clear like purpose and mission when it comes to this. But this is really not about like the business and the impact. It's really about me being able to step into this role fully
Mhm.
and and really just do a great job at like not letting the world determine how I show up, but like the conversation between me and spirit about what they're asking me to do and exactly how, that's very clear. So I just want to like get out of the way and just do that, even if it's not always going to be received at first 100%. Like I actually know why and what I'm doing. So I'm trying to step into like that. Like you always talk about main character energy. Like this is my main character that spirit is asking me to be. Well, it's really revealing myself, you know? And it's a little scary sometimes because I do worry about judgment and stuff, but I'm manifesting the embodiment of this for the purpose of the mission to serve with it.
And that's beautiful. And I really am seeing that coming in. Like even when you're talking, it's just kind of reminds me of like you're stepping into your queen era,
Yeah.
your queen area, but not in authority way, but just where you can lead with this beautiful purpose and from spirit and divine. And I'm really seeing that coming in, and I'm really excited for you, and I love this.
Thank you.
So you did touch about a few points, which is my next question about what challenges you may be facing, and that is a little bit of judgment and thinking what the world may perceive and what you're trying to change. And a lot of pioneers, I'm sure, face a lot of issues with the same thing. But what else do you think is maybe your challenges that you're facing?
Um, Sometimes I think that the pump has to be primed for the energy to flow. I mean, that's true of energy in general. And what I mean is like, I don't know if you know what that means. It just like back in the day when they had water pumps, like you don't just pump and water comes out. It has to build like when you suck out of a straw, like it gains the momentum and then at one point, the stuff comes out, right? And so I guess the challenge would be to just step into this and do it like Spirit and I are playing catch
Mm-hmm.
and sort of maintain the same focus and level that I'm bringing to the table, even when the momentum isn't built yet. As a psychic reader, a mentor for psychic readers, I always coach people that like divorcing yourself from that like need for validation is really important. It's been like a theme in my processes, both as a psychic reader and now, like, as I'm stepping into not just mentoring psychic readers, but really the energy I'm bringing to the issue, to the table, to the mission. And so I think I just need to keep the faith in the conversation between spirit and I and them telling me exactly what to do and what they need of me. And even when no one's watching or even when no one's responding, you know, um, and it's not like no one responds. Like I have clients, there's people in there, right? But even before I see proof of it in the outside world that this is working the way spirit told me it was, I want the challenge is to sort of keep the faith and keep the momentum,
Mm-hmm.
even when I don't get to know what it's doing in the beginning, you know?
Yeah. Um, and on that topic, do you believe it would be more helpful if you asked from spirit if there would be certain signs along the way that may be helpful for you? That way your needs are being met. That way you can keep going.
Yeah.
That something for you?
Um, so I guess the way I would answer that is maybe not signs because I'm very, very clear like of what I'm being shown. I don't need that validation, but maybe just like can I be so requesting to say not signs, but like small miracles along the way that if I come up to a crossroads where there's like a gate, I would like spirit to remove the gate, you know? And what I mean by that is like if I get to a point where I'm having a hard time showing up that
Mm-hmm.
day in that way,
Mm-hmm.
rather than a sign, I want spirit to tell one of my friends to call me and be like, "Hey, Batty, what are you doing today?" Like, so little miracles that will push me over the hump. So, kind of like signs in action, right? Little moments of assistance
Mm-hmm.
when I might be stuck in this.
Yeah. And I think that's really reasonable to me because I know working with spirit, especially with these vision boards, sometimes it takes some time for that to come into full focus, what we're trying to manifest. And I think it's fairly important to ask along the way to kind of have a backup plan to have like, okay, I need a little assistant here. That way I can keep, I suppose, holding on to the faith, if that's the one word. And I like that you put on calling from friends, something along the way to just kind of help you keep going, keep the momentum. So I have a couple of other questions here. So you can close your eyes during this process or you can keep them open.
Sure.
But this is a little meditation part. I really want you to we're going to jump into that day when this manifests for you, your vision. So take a few deep breaths in, deep breath in, release, breath in, release. Deep breath in, release. All right. Well, I want you to think about that day where your vision becomes your reality. It finally happened. All that you want, all that you desire, is finally here. It's that day. Okay, soak in that feeling and what it may look like for you. So, what does this day look like when it finally happened? Can you describe it a little bit to me?
Yeah, I believe I'm here in Orlando, but I'm in like a high rise looking like lofty apartment. Like, one of those like you would almost imagine in New York, but it doesn't have to be there. It's almost like I'm in my kitchen slash living room slash, like area. And I could see in the main area that one of the walls is just glass from top to bottom, like like the lofty, I don't know what you'd call those. Like I said, not penthouse. It doesn't have to be a penthouse. But you know what I mean? I don't know what to call it, high rise or whatever I don't know what they call it. But so two walls are all glass from the bottom up. And it's sunset-ish, getting a little bit later. And I've just walked in after like speaking at an event or doing like a event. And my hair is similar, but I have a beautiful blowout. I must know how to do my hair at that point or have help. And I have big gold earrings on. and I have this like white shirt that is a little bit like higher uh than my waist with puffy like white sleeves, like a real trendy like baddie shirt, and it looks like white or maybe a light color. And then I have these like high-waisted, almost like kind of leathery, pleathery pants, very fashionable.
Mhm.
And I'm
Mhm.
kicking off my shoes, so I'm either barefoot, but I can also see like a colorful, really short heel on like something I would have worn, maybe not every day. But for an event, I would have like brought those heels out. I wish I could wear heels every day, but I'm not very good at it. So they're like modest, but cute and colorful, trendy heels. The color I keep seeing is like a hot pink or like a hot coral or something like that.
Mhm.
And I just see myself I don't drink like wine or anything, but I see myself like coming in and lighting some candles and some incense and putting on some like moody lo-fi music.
Mhm.
And I don't really cook, but maybe I'm like prepared to like make a little something.
Mhm.
And so maybe I do cook a little. I don't know. I don't cook now.
Mhm.
But she's preparing to like wind down and like actually celebrate herself with like something delicious that maybe she did set up herself to be able to make. And I can see that I like maybe turn the TV on and I'm looking for something to unwind and watch. And maybe I have a little blanket on the couch. And I'm just kind of like, kicking off my heels and right there in my bougie outfit after a good day. I've got something maybe cooking and I'm in a little blanket and I'm like sipping a drink of some kind. It seems like maybe it's like a something that has like a sprig of rosemary in it. Maybe it's like a grapefruit slash rosemary because that's something I'm into. So it feels like it's like a drink that's um like a mocktail because I don't drink, right? But something like special that I treat myself to, and it's got like a sprig of something and it feels like a rosemary. Um, is that's very descriptive, but I'm
Well, I love the description of it.
okay.
It's too much.
And it's kind of like turning from like twilight to sunset. So as this vision presses on, I'm like eating my little snack, almost like a eat, pray, love moment when she makes herself that meal, right? And I'm still in my baddie clothes and I'm just snuggling on the couch now. And now I can see the city lights outside of my glass. So I'm just having this moment. And then also I can, if I fast forward a little bit in the future, I can also see, that around maybe 10 p.m., maybe a friend comes over, for some ice cream or dessert and a chit chat or something.
Mhm. I love it.
Yeah.
And what would you say is the main feeling you feel right now in in this present time that you're in your vision?
I'm
What
just
do you
really
feel?
like embodied, like
Mhm.
everything I want has a space, and I don't feel, I just feel like really proud of myself,
Mhm.
not necessarily for any sort of grind, but for believing in my calling and like
Mhm.
taking that risk and taking that shot. And then that like pays off in that you ever like trust spirit, take a
Mhm.
shot or take a risk, and then like when it happens, you're like, I see you,
Yeah.
spirit. So I'm feeling like that sort of, it's
Mhm.
not even like a personal reward or like a personal accomplishment, like it is, but it's more like I feel reminded of the magic of spirit's plan for me, and I
Mhm.
feel completely held in it.
I love that.
Yeah, and I feel the
Mhm.
magic and, like, the plan for and
Mhm.
obviously this is about my vision, but, like, it also has to do with, like, the plan for other people, right? Because my mission is
Yeah.
very directly connected to, like, who will need my medicine, and so that's a part of it too, but mostly I just feel really held by spirit, because they showed and told me something, and then I put my faith there, and, you know, that's what made me um, feel held is when it happened.
Mhm. Beautiful. Well, since you're in that day, now I'm going to have you go ahead 3 days after, I mean, not 3 days, 3 months after this manifestation. Again, what does it look like for you
I'm traveling. I feel
traveling?
myself at the airport with my favorite sunglasses and my favorite co-ord outfit, which is like a two-piece outfit that goes together. I have a couple of those, like maybe it's like a beige satin on top and the beige satin pants, or like, some light color like co-ord or whatever, something cute for the airport. And I'm feeling good and I have my passport and I think that I'm going to an event um, in like a jungly, let's say like maybe Bali or Costa Rica or somewhere. Like I feel like something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Bali, but I'm not sure because I haven't been to either of those places yet, but it's like something like that. And I'm going to go like be part of this amazing, like large, like retreat event. And I'm going to have like a session where I'm teaching, but I also get to just be a part of the group. And it feels like it's not some big, big, big event. It feels like it's like a mastermind kind of event. Maybe there's 20, 25 people, and they're really like high level people that are really, you know, sort of when I say high level, I don't mean more value or more worth. I just mean they're they have bigger goals and bigger dreams, and they're just at a level where they've unlocked like a lot of levels, and it's a really like um high performance like group. But we're also very spiritual and we're doing something very spiritual. Um there just seems to be like some mastermind energy around it, but I'm also serving the group, but I'm also there meeting and exchanging with like people that also like are on the grid that I love and admire and follow and learn from. So it feels like both a trip that I would take to fill my heart and my cup and my brain, but it also feels like I'm someone in that group and I have something to offer. And I'm going there to also present. And when I vision myself like with my suitcase, I've got beautiful like two-piece tropical, be in the jungle, waterfall bathing suit outfits. And they're not just bathing suits, but they're like these beautiful, like goddess, like two-piece. Maybe it's a skirt with a big slit and the bathing suits under and the top matches. Like I can sense that I have this beautiful fashion and style that expresses so beautifully like how I want to feel. I can feel him in my suitcase.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love those kind of outfits. Just like
Yes.
ready for to take on the world.
Yes. And to feel like really good doing it.
And speaking of feelings, that you just described feeling really good. Is there any other kind of feelings that come through in that moment?
I feel like I feel very feminine. Like I feel both. I mean, people a lot of times talk about like the masculine and the feminine, but I think the conversation happens a little less. It still happens. I can still see it and find it and learn from it. I'm not an expert, but the difference between not just feminine and masculine, but like the lighter femme and the darker femme, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the lighter femme is like this goddess open girl, and the dark femme is like the feminine version of what it's like to embody like a more denser power in her gut. So I feel like that I'm fully embodied into this like light and dark femme. And like I have a coach right now who says like sometimes sweet, sometimes spicy, but that's still femme energy either way. And so I feel like I'm fully embodied in my light and dark femme. Like I feel very sexy. I also feel very beautiful, like more on a light side. You know, I can put a flower in my hair, like a beautiful little goddess, or, I can draw tribal things on my face and feel like a warrior. Like I feel her like capacity.
I love that. It reminds me a lot of describing it kind of the maiden feminine aspect of it. And then
Yeah.
back into this lighter feeling, but also very adventurous and lively and ready to go forward. And so
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's like
Um,
if like light and dark were best girlfriends, like one would have like a dark ponytail, you know, and be wearing like black and maybe like, a big, even like a I don't know, maybe she's wearing tribal paint or like a gold snake on her sleeve, or she's just like, she's a baddie. And then the other girl is like wearing white, maybe has like the gold crown that feels very like, you know, like those two energies like embodied. Like that's how it feels. Like it feels like the dynamic duo of those girls being best friends, but both being inside of me.
I love it. All right. So now we're going to jump ahead 1 year after this has manifested for you. What does it look like?
It feels like I'm evolving in my business to be more about my service. And it seems like I'm like, I can't tell exactly, but I have a white like suit on. It's got a jacket and like pants, and the white suit like comes plunging down to show like all the skin. So I'm definitely still a baddie, I guess. But I'm starting to evolve, and it feels like I'm I don't know if I'm consulting for businesses, or I see myself like in a boardroom and there's something that I'm doing that maybe is like investing or being like a chair of something. It feels a little more boardroomy than before. So I must be having some maybe investment interest, or maybe there's like something that I took interest in and now it's become like kind of a major theme or interest of mine. And I see myself sort of in this boardroom collab situation where I'm advising, or there I see it's like a wealth hobby. I see myself doing some sort of wealth hobby. And I don't know exactly what it is, but there's other people around me and I'm in a boardroom and I'm in a white suit and it plunges and I can see like a gold necklace or something. And it's just like I'm like maybe this like when I sit further, it's like maybe some of my very best friends have businesses or like corporations of their own, and I know them from just being in the high performance space. And like I decided to invest or something, and now I'm on the chair and now I'm like involved. And it feels, I don't know if this has to do with like programs that have a humanitarian effort, because that's definitely part of it. But it's really on the level of like the corporate deciding, and it feels like I've invested in something as a wealth hobby or interest, and I'm very interested and very passionate about being in this boardroom and like contributing to whatever this is.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned the passion. Is there any other kind of feelings that are coming in for you?
Also just financial freedom, not ever, I mean, I know that I'm in touch with this today and that it's been a history of mine to, like for example, I always talk about like, my psychic reading business when I struggled to book clients before I really, cracked the code. And so I was in touch with that. I kind of needed that, right? To be in touch with people and to know what they're going through and to reverse engineer exactly how I got from there to here. Like I realized the usefulness in that. And I also realized that at times, faith is required of me now because those are the problems I'm currently solving. And I need to be fresh on that, But at some point, you just change and up level and grow so much that you're not even helping people with the same problems you did when you started. And so I feel that like the struggle part, where people are like not financially free yet, I feel that that is like missing in this time frame, especially where now really the circle I'm dealing with and the people who are in my space and what I feel connected to contribute to, this is more in the realm of people having the energy to give. And we're all just a little bit more hyper focused on creating the world we want to live in. So there's like efforts being made like proactively versus, having what you need to personally live abundantly. It feels very like global and very like concerned with like forward movement without like the awareness and the topics and the energy and the concerns that are like below the line of capability financially. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does. It sounds very, like we said, very much going out into the globe and just really making a rippling effect.
Yeah.
So the last part of this is again, we're going to jump one more time into 3 years after your manifestation. Where are you? What does it look like?
I feel myself resting. I can see myself in a villa of some kind. This is the first time I've seen like a partner. I'm not even sure how to describe who they are because I just sense their presence. And I date men and women. I almost can't even tell. I know you'll probably want to know for the vision board, but uh, I
Well,
don't.
if you don't mind, I can kind of touch in here and see if we can help.
Yeah, yeah, you could tell me, but I just sense that like I kind of have someone I'm sharing with day to day. It feels more than like a best friendship. It feels like a companionship. So I sense that. I'm okay with either on the vision board or in your messaging. Either one's fine. But I sense that. And I also sense just this beautiful nature around me. And I am very much near the ocean. But it's not like a beach house with beach vibes. We have a lot of those in Florida. It's more like, you know how Hawaii has like a jungle vibe
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of its greenery, and then it's got like also the beach and water,
Yeah.
um, rather than feeling like a surf vibe. It's like that jungle beach vibe. And it's not Hawaii. That's just the only place I've been where I can like draw that from. It feels like wherever I've been going that I love, I invested in a villa and it feels like I go there for like maybe even 4, 5, 6 months, maybe less than six, but like I go there and then I just like take a season where I just don't do anything. So all my stuff is automated. If I'm doing anything still, you know, the investments, it's very normal for everybody on the team to take sabbaticals. And I feel myself with my person just relaxing and being present and just having these beautiful moments of like sunset and water play, like all the ocean stuff and the waterfall stuff or whatever, and just sort of being present, almost like when you're I can imagine it would be similar to when you have a family and you come home and you just unplug from work and you just spend family time. It feels like I'm so driven by my passions that I'm maybe always feeling like I have a hand in work, like typically, but on this sabbatical, I can see myself for months at a time literally do nothing other than just whatever brings me pleasure. And it's not in the realm of empire building, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I can see that. I can totally feel like that moment of, oh, finally, it's just like here and it's working and you have this well-oiled machine and it's that time where you can just kind of be in being, just be present and be um give everything that you need to kind of just enjoy what all that you worked for. It's just beautiful.
It just feels really balanced and delicious.
Feeling the balance. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
I think one of the major themes for me in my life and like what spirit has shown me and like what I feel aligned and called to is like not balance at a smaller exchange, but balance at a very, very high exchange. Because sometimes I think when the world, starts to perform high and earn high and stuff, it can get off balance if it's not grounded. But because of the approach of like staying spirit led and driven and soulful in the processes, I want to create a balance at the top, you know, like a genuine balance. We don't have to be, you know, struggling in poverty just to believe that our service is, genuine, humble, and helpful, and ultimately in integrity. You know what I mean? I want to be able to bring the energy exchange not at 2%, not at 5%, but at 100, 200, 300%, where we're up leveling in a grounded way, like sending an air balloon up, you know, without it blowing in the wind. I want to achieve and unlock levels of high energy exchange, but balance them. And like when you tell me to go to this place right now, it feels like I'm higher than I've ever been. And it feels so grounded and balanced that the the hot air balloon, even if it's tethered, with one string of, purpose and authenticity, it's like it's all the way up without getting blown around. Like there's no wobbleness to it. It's like locked in.
Hmm. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love the description of that. Just I can just feel the energy and the way you are describing it. It's just gorgeous. So I have a few little things left here. And so you just described one of the things of this vision board and what you're trying to manifest, which is themes of high balance exchange.
Yeah.
What else's intentions do you feel? Is
Pleasure.
it
Just
pleasure?
pleasure. Really enjoying the time we have here on the planet, enjoying each other, enjoying what we do, sort of like letting go of the stress of the rat race, the things that make life difficult. And I'm not saying we don't have a reason to like learn and to grow, but at some point, I think I want us to indulge in pleasure, and we need the freedom to do that, which is one of the reasons I feel really called to help people be successful so that they have the freedom to also, while they're working so hard, like experience joy and pleasure. This world is like beautiful and stunning and vibrant. And I just don't want us to put our heads down so far that we don't indulge in like the beauty of and the just the deliciousness of the world. So I would like to, see things chosen just because they bring pleasure without the gatekeeping of I don't have the freedom to experience that.
Loving that. And have you what steps do you perceive that you can take at this moment in this time to help you move into that vision? Is there
I think
something that
I'm
comes to
I
mind?
think I'm doing it, but I need to be able to um be consistent. And I really think that one of the things that spirit has been showing me for a little while now that I'm trying to do my best at is, like I said, triggering light workers into being highly comfortable with my worth and money,
Mm-hmm.
triggering them even to the point. I don't mean trigger in a bad, harmful way. I just mean like make them shift by me showing them an example of an extreme difference to what we've thought before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that extreme exposure to something so different sort of opens the container and allows people permission to energy exchange at a higher rate, which means, more good, more support, more freedom, all those things. And so I think I know what I need to do, and I'm very clear that I need to continue not overthinking or stopping when it comes to showing up as like that baddie girl. Because sometimes I'll be really spicy and bougie and batty, and other times I'll be really brainy, like, okay, let's talk about something. And every once in a while, I'll have a sweet moment. And like, I really just need to give myself permission to be all three. It's not incongruent. I'm not one note, I am dynamic. But the part I've been holding back is the part that really wants to be the dark femme. And like, I need to let her lead right now because she's like, this is her calling. Like, she's up, like, she's the batter for like this particular job. And so she's got to be in charge. I need to give her, the talking stick, the lanyard, the podium, the whatever. Like, I need to let her lead me and lead with her instead of gatekeep her because I feel like people won't understand her. And it's true, like people may not understand her at first, but she's the girl for the job. So I gotta like keep letting her have the reins.
She is the pioneer. She's going to lead you.
Yeah, like
Now
she's
that
the
you're
girl. This is her phase. Like this is her era. She's got a job to do. It's very specific. I've been informed of what it is. I know the dynamics. Not everyone's gonna love her. She knows that. She don't care. Like she's here to do a job, and like this is her era. Like it's very, very clear that like this is this is a sign. This part is like she understands the assignment.
I got, I got goosebumps when you said that.
Yeah.
But since now that you're touched in with her, this is the last part of this. I want you to really tune in. If she could
Okay.
give you an I am statement for you to keep moving forward, what would she say?
Let me really think on this. Hold on a sec. Um, I don't know how this fits into the I am statement, but the thing I heard was like, and I don't even drink, but I heard this like hold my beer kind of energy. So I know it's not an I am statement. Another way to say that would be like wink, watch this or something like that. But it feels like that kind of energy. So how would I make that an I am statement? Like, um, maybe it's like, um, I'm hearing things like my turn, hold my beer, like these little cocky little things. And I don't know how to make that I am. Does it have to be I am?
No, it doesn't, but
Okay,
whatever
does that work for
works
you?
for you. Yes, it does.
Okay, okay.
I also have a suggestion, but this is just yours. I want this to be your affirmation if this works for her. But you said dynamic. How does that
Oh
fit?
yeah, she is. Like we're talking about her affirmation or like mine.
Well, whatever helps tune in to her, what would be hers? Would that work for her?
It almost feels like I'm in control and not in a forceful way, but in a way where she's like, I understand the assignment. I'm up to speed. I want the same thing you do. I'm in control.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Open my eyes now.
Yes, you are welcome to open your eyes.
Ooh, here I am. I'm back. That was fun.
Yeah. Now I'm going to do a little spread for you,
Okay.
kind of help clarify whatever you need for your vision board.
Okay, great.
So I have to find it here. I didn't bookmark it. Here we go. So I'm going to be doing the vision board spread.
Yay, vision board spread.
In that pretty book.
In my favorite tarot book ever.
All right. So I got my tarot here.
I haven't done this spread.
It's
Excited.
one I like to use a lot when, after doing exactly what we just did, after the meditation and going in and going deep. And this kind of just clarifies. It's a lot of the same questions of like, what's your vision? Where are you going to be in 3 months? 1 year, 3 years. It's just the tarot just kind of offers a little insight and clarification.
Cool.
So we'll go. We'll start with what is Tana's vision. All right. I love this. You got the Two of Cups.
Love that.
So I'm really feeling this is ultimately like the love you want to give out into the world. But it's not just one sided. You want the love to kind of come back and circle around. There's a cycle to this. It's repeating and it's flowing and it's cooperation between so many and so others. And it's, I don't know, when I'm picking up the card here and listening to what you're saying, I see like a recycle sign. That's the best I can describe it. It's never ending. It's recyclable. It's um it's like the water cycle. It starts
Yeah.
out as water and evaporates and then goes back into the air and then goes back and becomes water. And I'm really feeling like this is what you're putting out into the world. It's a cycle of love. And it's also bringing up experience, really recommending like that one other, that at the end of the 3 years, that end where you have that enjoyment by the villa with your significant other. So something to really kind of focus on. But overall, this is about love and the cycle of love. All right. Can you get one
I
for
love
me?
that because even in like the work I do, like the methods I teach or like the intention, the heart behind like the methodology is you start with one thing and you kind of, I have, three pieces to it, right? But you kind of start with one thing and then you come back around. But instead of connecting right to where you were, you sort of connect deeper and then go higher and then connect deeper and go higher. So that really it creates like this spiral awareness for me where it's really like coiling like a Christmas tree out in its width, right? Um so that really speaks to me.
All right. What is your 3 month goal or vision? Let's see what here. All right. You had two that came out. Of course, you have the world.
The world.
And I like that when you were talking of like you're at the airport, you're traveling the world. But this is also like, it's talking about success, fulfillment. You came to that point of getting where it is you desire. And I like, I know my light is kind of showing, but if you see right here, there's this woman, she's just like, her chest is open and she's has a lot of fun energy. She's very delightful and freeing. And I'm really liking that touch for you. It's just reminds me of a rebirth.
Yeah.
And then it's paired with the Seven of Pentacles. So this process, and I think this is just a little reminder, is that maybe even getting to that point into three months after, it's gonna take a little patience.
Yeah.
You are growing things, and even right now, and you've planted a lot of seeds. I like that I'm hearing too that you are already nurturing this process, nurturing it and becoming. And so it's, in a way, it's like parenthood in a way. This is another divine act.
It's the natural order of things.
You're watching it grow. You're watching
Yes.
it be out there in the world.
Yes.
And then we have your 1 year vision. Okay.
A lot of jumpers in your cards
Yeah,
today.
that one jump. You have the Five of Wands. Oh, so this is all automatically of Actually, I'm feeling different here. It usually with the Five of Wands is about fights and destruction in some way. I'm feeling like this is where you are going into the board part of your um, being, but it doesn't feel constructive. It
The boardroom to me felt a little bit more like we were on crusades. So maybe we're breaking down something else.
That's exactly what I'm feeling. It's like you're breaking down, but maybe even part of what once worked for you in this vision, but now it's time to reconstruct.
Yeah.
But and also this is kind of the feeling too that maybe being out there, you're going to have a lot of examples from other people who want to kind of mimic what you were putting out in the world. So I'm feeling like still being that energy of your bringing out the warrior aspect of your dynamic baddie and to see how she wants to handle this, how she wants to lead, and kind of see how this will play out. But there's nothing to be afraid here because there is a lot of like confidence and
Yeah.
um, just re envisioning now of something that's been working for
Yeah.
a while, for over a year. And so now it's like, how do we reinvent it
Yeah.
and make
And
it?
and I'm okay if people do what I do. I'm building an army. Like, like I don't need to be unique or special. That's not the point. The point is to get the job done, you know? So if more of us can do better, then let's go.
Yeah, exactly, because you have that cycle of like bringing it at
Yeah.
cycling, and so
Yeah. Besides, I'll be on to the next thing anyways, the moment I evolve myself. So it's not about that. But no, I definitely feel that energy of like, I do feel that that boardroom energy is really about like, remember I said the world we want to create and see. And even because I'm in the humanitarian efforts now, I even have my hand in it now, but there it feels like it's something a little different. Like maybe I met a friend who, does ocean cleanup and has a corporation that is in charge of big funding that cleans the ocean or something. And I'm there, investing and contributing or something. Like it feels very like crusade energy. And I feel that from that card a little bit. Like that's one of the possible dynamics of that. So that fits.
yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead with the third year number three and see what comes up. We have two. All right. First thing that came out is the Six of Wands. So, hmm, I think this is when I'm picking up the energy in this card and definitely talking about what you've been visualizing. There's this sense of like you're comfortable with the success. It seems like you've built so much and now you're just ready for it to be whatever it can be. Um, there's a lot of recognition. And I think it's also not recognition necessarily from an outside force, but it's recognition for you, like in all that you've built and all that you've done. And and I have to kind of say this too, like spirit wants you to already kind of embody this energy right now because you've already built so much and come so far, and it's really okay for you to kind of feel that in and take that in, even though it's 3 years down the line, it's still here for you now, and
Yeah.
really kind of touch into it, and because you're really worthy of it.
And also like I know that the structure is like, the this many months, the 1 year, the 3 years. But I also like being a timeline reader myself and being so in tune with time. Sometimes, even if the timing has different opportunities to manifest, the phases, the eras are still congruent with different timelines too. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like at that point, I don't think I'll be ready to stop work in 3 years, but I can feel the stage, of when like that element progresses and maybe there's a a microcosm of the 3 years that we've read, but there's also this like macrocosm of like phase one, phase two, phase three, and then, let it breathe, let it rest, let it be, and go off and, you know, smooch a sweetheart in the jungle. Like, I'm cool with that.
Well, I think that's too where it's coming in because you have the Ten of Wands here. And so the Ten of Wands, as you can see, he's carrying the weight of the world on his
Yeah,
shoulders. And so you do carry a lot of weight. And, this is kind of the process that we may be taking in, from getting from now to there. It's going to be a
yeah,
process. But you have the patience, you have the skill to do it. And really kind of, again, talking about that, just letting yourself feel those emotions of, I did it. Now here I am. And really coming back into that.
yeah. I feel like at one point I have to feel like satisfied, not like I'm not satisfied or like I'm just here for the hustle and the grind because when I'm in my best self, like I'm not just here for the hustle and grind. Like there's a very intentional reason to be working and working so hard. But like I feel myself at some point in my life go, that was great.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. You get to that point, and I feel like that is definitely going to be there for you. You're going to get to that point of soul satisfaction.
Yeah.
Really feeling that coming through. It's going to echo.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, yeah, that's what I got. So
So
this
what happens now in your process?
what happens in this process is I will take all that I've gathered here in notes and what we have done in this reading, and I will really touch bases with spirit, and I will create a vision board that's intuitively designed for you, and in that it'll be a reminder and a tool to help you along in your journey of trying to manifest what it is you're trying to manifest. And yeah, and I will, this will probably take me about a day to create, sometimes a little sooner.
So by the time we publish this video, we'll make it so that the vision board is ready. So we'll reveal that in a moment, I guess. But I just want to thank you. Your processes are so powerful. Your readings are not the only thing that you're valuable for. Like you have beautiful, just like general reading practices of all kinds, but this was also truly a treat because rather than you just telling me things, like, I saw them, and now you're gonna go read them on top of that, and also got some insight for me to really context and validate what we just went through, and so this process is amazing. You got it. I can't wait to see my vision board. When you see it, I'm sure you're gonna be like jelly and you want one, so, thank you, Liliana, so much, for the gift of your vision board reading.
Well, it's been an honor. I really appreciate it. And for those of you who are interested, I will definitely share a link. That way you can book with me. This is, though, a seasonal reading. I'm only offering it until January 19th of 24, but you definitely have an opportunity to get one yourself. So
Yes,
I am going
don't delay. All right, well, I guess we will send our love and reveal the vision board now.
to, yep, definitely. Bye.